Hey guys, welcome back. It's Sarah. I'm in my little Kris Jenner suit. I literally never wear suits. Like, I do not have the girl boss ensemble. I just go on my Zoom meetings, turn my camera off, glasses and sweats. That's how I go to meetings. Today we're doing like a little Q&A all about SACHEU Beauty. We just had our first birthday 2 months ago, so it's been over a year since we launched our first product, and it's been probably 2 years, probably more, since we actually started creating SACHEU Beauty behind the scenes. I feel like I still have a lot to learn. I feel like we are just getting started, but the success that SACHEU Beauty has seen is something I have never expected. Like, it wasn't even on my vision board. We are at Ulta now, which is amazing, possibly in store soon. We are at Nordstrom, we're at Neiman Marcus, currently in stores. We're in Douglas in Europe, and it's just been really crazy. Like, I did not expect any of this. So I just want to do a little Q&A to answer some of y'all's questions. I feel like we got super lucky. Like the team works really hard, but I also feel like we got super lucky. So I just want to thank you guys, first of all, for all the support you guys have given us. So I just want to do a little wrap up of this year and answer some questions. I usually just hop on YouTube to talk about SACHEU Beauty products, which I'm still gonna do, but I want to answer some questions that you guys might have about the operations behind the scenes, because it's such a huge chunk of my life. Like, that's basically my 9 to 5 now. And I usually share so much of my life, and I feel like I just haven't since the brand started, because it's all just Zoom meetings and emails and organizing, planning, testing samples. So I just want to share that part with y'all a little bit and answer some questions, especially if you're a woman looking to start your own business or be in the skincare industry. I really hope this video can help, because I had no idea how to do it when I first started doing it. So let me pull up the questions and sip my coffee. So the first question, which is the question I get the most, is how do you even get started creating your own beauty brand? Honestly, I feel like it was an accident. I obviously have reviewed skincare products for a long time. I've used so many products, good and bad. I always had an idea of what is lacking, what I needed, and what I wanted improved on. And I usually see a formula and I think, oh, this is something that they could have done better, and I have all these mental notes in my head. I was always prepared. Like, my brain was always just filled with so many ideas about how to make skincare better for the consumer. But of course, I didn't have the manufacturing capabilities. And it was in 2019, I think early 2019, when a team of people approached me about starting my own brand. They were like, hey, I really like what you're doing. We would like to create something new with you. I was kind of hesitant, because you get these offers throughout the years, especially if you're an influencer. You get these offers all the time of people wanting to do a collab with you, and usually you don't have a lot of control. There's no way you're gonna give me like a bottle of like a Mario Badescu knockoff and put my name on it and call it a day. Like, there's no way. The thing that I really wanted to create at the time is because I was using jade rollers so much and gua sha so much, and I always knew of the risks that comes with using those products because of the porous material and the sustainability issues that comes with jade. So I pitched this idea, literally just opened up Photoshop and like Googled like images of stainless steel and Photoshopped the whole roller together. Didn't have a mock-up. It's not something that existed when we first put it all together. So I pitched this idea to them, and they actually loved it and believed in it. I was really surprised and touched by how much they trusted me and my vision, and we created it together. They had connections with people who can manufacture it, and at that point, because I'm not freaking, I don't know, Jeffree Star, they didn't know how well this would actually perform on the market, because this is just an idea I came up with. So it was always supposed to just be a capsule collection, so something that is a one-off launch. And when we launched our SACHEU Beauty page, which I ran myself in the beginning, we got so much love and so much support that we were like, this might be something bigger than just a capsule collection. We might be able to actually turn this into a full-on brand. So for us, we started with the concept and the product, and everything else came afterwards. Like, we didn't even have like an official like business plan. We didn't have a brand book. We didn't have all these things that you needed to do to build a business before we actually started the business. We kind of had to work backwards. So it was really a happy surprise, and I feel so lucky that it worked out that way, because it wasn't ever something that I expected. I was lucky to get the trust from my team, and I was also lucky to get the support from you guys. So that is personally just how SACHEU Beauty started. So many different startups have different stories, and I'm sure a lot more professional stories where they actually had a plan. Our brand journey was just kind of going with the flow. We just got really good at adapting, and yeah, that's how we started. I hope that answered the question. Next question is, how long does it usually take to develop a new product? Very good question. It really depends on the product. With the roller and gua sha, we were very meticulous about the quality of the stainless steel. We were very meticulous about how fragile it is, because that was an issue with jade rollers. So we went through several samples, but the actual product development probably took around 8 months, whereas for a lot of bottled products that we're coming out with next year, hint hint, wink wink, those take a lot longer because we want to make sure the formula is good. We want to make sure it absorbs well, the texture, the viscosity, the longevity, if it's an active, how stable it is. Sunscreens take forever to go through testing, and especially if it's a product that makes a clinical claim, there are so many regulations that we need to abide by. So those things usually take over a year to develop. Some brands, in order to stay relevant, they want to launch a product every single month, and I'm just too picky about my skincare for that. I felt a little bit of pressure to start doing that, but just no, like we wanted to create something that people are actually going to repurchase because they love the product so much. It's not a one-off thing. So it takes a really long time to perfect. And we also go through different people in the beauty industry, chemists, myself, we all test these samples. I probably have over 100 bottles of samples at my house at this point. So it's a really long process, but I think it's a really rewarding one because by the time the product actually launches, you know you created something that's worth launching. And that's what we're trying to do. So to answer your question, tools, 8 months. Bottled skincare, probably over a year. Next up is, what's your future goals for your brand? This is a goal that SACHEU Beauty kind of already reached because we were at Neiman Marcus, but I really want SACHEU Beauty to be at more physical stores. I love shopping online and I get a lot of stuff online. I really want to see our products being widely available. So even if you're just doing your grocery run and you run through the beauty aisle, you'll be able to pick up something that you need because you just ran out. That's kind of what I want SACHEU Beauty to be. Yeah, I just want it to be more widely available. The goal is to create products that are so good that even people who have no idea about YouTube or me or anything that I've ever done would try these products and actually love them for what they are. This is a product question. How exactly do you clean your roller or gua sha after you use them? I think we have a video on Instagram about how to wash it, but basically you just need antibacterial soap. If your hand wash is antibacterial, you can use that on your roller and your gua sha. Unlike jade or rose quartz, you don't need to boil it. You don't need to use rubbing alcohol or anything like that because it's stainless steel. It's the same material as your silverware. So you can basically wash it the same way that you wash your silverware. You can use dishwashing liquid, hand soap if it's fragrance free, and then wipe it or air dry it. It's designed to make that step of your routine a lot more convenient and easy. So yeah, it's super simple. It takes like 10 seconds. Hints of the next product. Oh my God. Okay, I'll grab it for you. Give me a second. Okay, this is not the final packaging. Okay, that's all I'm showing you. Recommended slicks to use with the face roller and gua sha. So of course we have our thick skin, which is literally designed for this exact purpose. It doesn't absorb quickly. It stays on top of your skin for 5 minutes, so it's enough for you to do your entire gua sha routine. The fact that it doesn't absorb really quickly means that you have enough slip throughout your entire massage, which is what we want. We don't want it to tug on your skin. It has a lot of lipids that are good for your skin barrier, and it's a really nice silicone-based multi-purpose product, which is why we created it. We wanted to complement our skincare tools as well. But if you don't have one or don't want to get one, you can use certain face oils if you don't have a bad reaction to them. Oils with a heavier molecular weight usually takes longer to absorb. So something like coconut oil, I know a lot of people don't like it, but if you've ever used it on your skin, you know how long it takes for it to fully absorb. So that would be a good option for facial massage. Also certain serums with a more silicone base. This isn't a hard and fast rule, but usually the thinner it is, the faster it will be for your skin to absorb because it usually has a higher concentration of water. Just look for something that stays slippery on your skin, and that's the one you go with. Ooh, this is more of a personal question. How has the company changed your life in a good and bad way? I should start with the bad. So I had no idea how much time it took to be hands-on and actually run a business. I feel like before SACHEU Beauty, I could just run my mouth and say whatever. After SACHEU Beauty, I had to learn to be more of a people person and do meetings with different buyers, companies, chemists, a lot of things that I wasn't naturally good at. One really big thing is it definitely took time away from my social media, because before SACHEU Beauty, I was just creating content on YouTube, on Instagram, and it was really fun, and I was just doing that my entire life. Like I just did that all the time. I didn't even take breaks on weekends. I was just doing social media all the time. And now, because such a huge chunk of my life is dedicated to SACHEU Beauty, I didn't expect how much time SACHEU Beauty would take up of my life. Kind of took away from creating content, which makes me a little sad. I really want to be able to delegate better so that I can balance both and still be on YouTube more. That's definitely something I'm still working on, but inevitably, because it's not the only thing I'm doing, it's just hard to balance both. So I guess that's a bad part. There are so many good parts. I feel like Creating SACHEU Beauty is a physical way of me actually connecting with you guys, and we're creating something from scratch that could benefit y'all, because before that it was just reviews, recommendations. This feels like something that's delivered straight from me to y'all, so that is something that I've never experienced before. I think it's really cool. I feel like being an Asian founder of an actual skincare company kind of solidifies my space in the skincare beauty space, because I feel like I've always had imposter syndrome about having any type of influence in the skincare space, especially being an immigrant and not speaking English as my first language and being queer, being all these things. And it was difficult to see myself, to really think that I have a space in this industry. And it was really after SACHEU Beauty and its popularity that kind of relieved that for me, I think. How do you choose the correct people to work with? I've definitely worked with some of not the best people in the past, and I think what made me really trust this team is how much trust they put in me in return. It's always a reciprocal relationship, right? And a lot of times people who want to invest in you might not have the best intentions. They might have their own agenda. They might want to create something of their own and only use you for your public platform and not really your insight into the industry. And I did not feel that way at all with the team that we started out with. And after that, hiring more and more people onto our team, we have a very shared vision about what we want and what we want SACHEU Beauty to become. For example, there was a time, and this is a reason why our product development was delayed. This is like all the intel. For a while, we were working with a skincare lab in California that had an idea of what they want to do. I would tell them like, this is the formula we want, this is the texture we want. They had like their own philosophy about clean beauty and wanting to replace all the ingredients I want with natural ingredients. And because of that, that made a lot of samples just not the best. And because they had their own beliefs and their own agenda, we had to pick someone else to work with. It's just finding relationships where there is mutual respect and mutual trust, and you also trust that they're working towards the same goal as you. How do you have work-life balance? This is actually something I never used to do. Before SACHEU Beauty, I would work like Monday to Sunday. Like I never took a break. It was after SACHEU Beauty and having many burnouts that I realized that I need to have a work-life balance. So I tried to mimic the schedule that some of my friends who work 9 to 5s have. So I would actually force myself to take time off on weekends. When you have your own brand, there is an unlimited amount of work. If you want to keep working on something, you can. Like you will always be able to find something to work on, and that's just not healthy. But I'm definitely learning how to delegate, which is why I'm hiring a personal assistant. But at a certain point, you gotta let go and just take care of yourself. If there's nothing left here, there's nothing left to give. Oh, this is a good question. How should you use gua sha when you have active acne? If it's one pimple and it's a deep cystic one, you can avoid it. But if it's a really big area, try to avoid using the gua sha until it's healed, because applying pressure with something, whether it's your finger, whether it's a gua sha, could pop a pimple, and that's not something you want to do because that could cause scarring, especially if it's deep and cystic. You really need to be careful not to cause more inflammation. Another scenario where I wouldn't recommend using a gua sha is if you have Botox or filler in the jaw. And I learned this because I had lip filler before, but any manual massage that you do on filler and Botox could cause these injectables to migrate. So be careful. I don't want you looking like handsome Squidward. If you have a lot of filler, just don't use the gua sha. When's the SPF gonna drop? I'm working on it, I promise. Any plans to add makeup into the mix of your brand? I think it's more fulfilling to create skincare, so I don't know, maybe somewhere down the line. If it's gonna be makeup though, it's gonna have some type of skincare element in it, and we're gonna make sure it looks bomb. Okay, I think this is a really sweet question, so I'm gonna end it here. What's the most rewarding part about owning a business and being your own boss? There are a lot, but I think the best part is making my mom proud. Yeah. I remember when we first created our first product and I mentioned her and how the fact that she had her own roller and how her mom had her own roller when I was growing up and how much that influenced my first product. And when we first launched, my mom bought a whole box of SACHEU Beauty. The team were like, why is there this big ass order from Hong Kong? And I was like, yeah, that's my mom. And she just got a bunch of them to give to all her friends because she was so proud of me. So yeah, that part. Everything I do in life is to make my mom proud. Okay, that's a really sappy end. Thank y'all so much for going through this journey with me. A lot of really freaking exciting things coming in 2022, and I can't wait to show all of you. SACHEU Beauty is now available at Nordstrom.com, Ulta.com, Neiman Marcus.com, as well as in stores and SACHEU.com. So go do all your Christmas shopping now and shop for your Capricorn and Aquarius friends. Their birthdays are coming up. And here are some of my other videos if you want to watch them. I hope you guys have a great Christmas, and I'll see see y'all in 2022. Bye.